Bismillah ar-Rahman. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. I'd like to welcome you all, including our sisters and brothers who are listening online as well, who are participating from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Welcome back to our afternoon session. Alhamdulillah, we've just enjoyed and learnt a lot from our beloved teacher regarding Salatul Tasbih and how to actually then articulate our Salah in different dimensions, different ways which we've never heard of before, which will be new for a lot of us. Alhamdulillah for that. Now, inshallah, what I'm going to be doing is hopefully giving you an outline, introducing you to our team, a delivery team of teachers, and hopefully you've already seen some of them, and you'll be seeing some more wonderful faces as well. And hopefully, if they're all here, then first and foremost, what I'll do is that if the slide can put up our package, you could say, which we do every year. These brothers, these teachers, under the guidance of our beloved teacher, Shaykh Ahmad Dabbar, they've actually put together a program for you so that you can actually maximize your full 10 days in Itikaf. So that what we want to do is that immerse you in the theme that we've given, but also in such a way that is so wholesome and holistic that not just theory is given, but practical daily tips and daily advices which you can take away from this itikaf into your daily life, but also developing you, reconnecting you spiritually, mentally, physically to Allah, to Rasulullah, to Akhirah, and try to eradicate slowly the effects of the dunya. This is what whole package of this itikaf is. So these are our asatizahs under the guiding principle of our teacher Shaykh Ahmad Dabbar. Through them we have Ustaz Tahir, Ustaz Majid, Ustaz Shah Alam, Ustaz Harun Dabbar, Ustaz Abdul Rahim Dabbar, Ustaz Sajid, Ustaz Shabir. These are our main core delivery team teachers who are there to deliver different segments, inshallah, for the next coming days. Some have already delivered, some will be delivering, inshallah Aziz. So what exactly will they be delivering is that yesterday you saw Ustaz Tahir, he actually mentioned and set the scene for us regarding hellfire and basically the nature of the hellfire, why is punishment, why we're going to punish, the types of punishment there is in hellfire. So why it's important, because these are last 10 days of Itikaf, these are the last 10 days of Ramadan, and last 10 days we know that it says is the days in which people will get salvation from the hellfire, free from the hellfire. How can we also be of those people who are free from hell? So you need to know what hell is first and foremost. So maybe you might be thinking, oh yeah, I know what hell is. Oh, yeah, it's strange. But Ustaz Tahir yesterday, he made sure you were well aware hell is not just, for example, if I was to tell you now, when I say hell, what comes to your head? So brother, what comes to your head? First image that comes to your head. Fire. Okay, brother, you're over there. What comes to your head? Punishment. Hassan, Hamza, what comes to your head? Purification. Excellent, mashallah, purification. Go on, Brother Murtaza. Beast, mashallah. Brother, what comes to your head? So when I say hell, we've got fire, we've got punishment, we've got purification, we've got beast. When it comes to your head, what comes to imagination level of, let's say, when you have an image of hellfire, what comes to your head? You see fire, but contained in where? That's what my question will be. Brother, what contained in what? Shaitan, okay. Brother? Prison, like a prison, very good. Brother, yourself? Pain, okay. Muhafir? Trapped in a cage. So you saw these images yesterday. Yes, go on, brother. Torment. So you saw these images yesterday. You got pain, torture, prison, fire. This is the type of image we've got in our heads, isn't it? But the reality is completely maybe different. Like Brother Murtaza was saying, actually hellfire is a living beast. It's an animal, a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has been created, and it is humongous. It is huge. We're not going to go there. What I'm saying is that what I'm trying to say is that it is humongous. If Ustaz Tahir mentioned yesterday about the sun, that it can eat the sun, it's not a problem for him. For example, just to give you an idea, is that just the eye of hellfire, because it's a beast, is that if all the inhabitants of hellfire were put into the eye, everybody will be filled up in that area. That's how massive this place is. It's not even a place, it's a living beast. It's a living organism, you could say, a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, designed to punish us. This is the nature of hell. We need to understand that. We need to be, because this is why we need to exert our efforts and our abilities to what? To actually make sure that we don't become of the people of hellfire. And using the latter 10 days to help us at least put it on the steps, to put it on the footstool of actually being those people who are safe from the hellfire. So that's why we're doing, that's why we devised this program in these days of Itikaf, so that you can not just learn about hellfire, but also live through it, i.e. that is where the spiritual aspect will come into. So Ustaz Tahir set the scene yesterday. Today, inshallah, after my little bit of introduction, we're going to go to Ustaz Shabir Hassan, which is there, who is wonderful. Ustaz Shabir Hassan is there. He's going to be talking about the inhabitants of hellfire. Who are those inhabitants? What are their qualities? What are their traits? What type of punishment will they be suffering that in that area, in that place? What sort of sins that lead to that type of punishments? That is what we need to know, because are we doing those sins? Are we committing those crimes? If we are, there are consequences. There are situations in which if we do this, this is the sort of punishment that we're going to get. So we need to now also be in other words, is that it should be a deterrent. It should be a factor in which is deterring us from actually doing that. We can't all say, for example, this is the beauty of Islam. There's hope and there's fear. You can't just keep on going, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ghafur Rahim, Ghafur Rahim. Yes, He is Ghafur Rahim for those people who turn to Him and want His forgiveness and save themselves. But also He's Shadidul Iqab. He's also quick in actually punishing. Why? In other words, that He can also take and He can punish just as severely as well. So we have the concept of fear and hope. Our iman lies in those two things, that we have fear and hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One, hope in His mercy. One is the fear in His punishment and His wrath. That is what we need to have. So you can't just keep on going on hope and hope and hope and not actually do anything and safeguard yourself. You need to have that balance. Hence why Ustaz Shabir Hassan will be discussing that. Next element is, hopefully, is Ustaz Sajid in tomorrow's session. He'll be talking about, okay, we talked about hell and we talked about inhabitants of hell, but some of us are making hell on earth. We're making hell on earth. What we mean by that is that we are making this land, this place, where it's supposed to be attaining our purpose, supposed to be worshiping Allah, we're following the Rasulullah, not following the devil. Unfortunately, we made this life, instead of making it peaceful and actually nice and nourished and blissful, but unfortunately we're making this life, forget hell, we're making hell on earth for ourselves because of what we're doing, how we're conducting with one another. You've heard the concept as well, haven't you? Is that it's like living with a dragon in your homes, your wife, your husband, your children. Sometimes when they lose, they anger, and that's it. Fire just comes out of their mouth, and that's it. A lot of you will probably don't want to come home because you know that home is not a home. It's a place in which where, unfortunately, you get no comfort, you get no ease, but just pain and upset and anger and sadness and grief and torment and abuse. It can't be like that. That's supposed to be a home where your security is supposed to be. Unfortunately, it's become like that. And then there are places at work which becomes like that. There are places in your study place it becomes like that. So what we're doing is that it's becoming, and this world, this earthly life is becoming, forget about hellfire, it's becoming hell for us on earth. So how can we actually save ourselves from that? That is what Ustaz Sajid is going to be delivering and discussing. So now we've gone through talking about elements of hellfire, inhabitants of hellfire, how we're making hell on earth. But these are the days, how can we get that forgiveness? How can we start actually being forgiven? How can we start from being taken away from hellfire? First off, forgiveness, doing tawbah and turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the element in which Ustad Majid will be discussing, the conditions of tawbah. How can we actually call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and allow and facilitate His mercy to fall upon us so that He showers us with His blessing so that we become forgiven. So that we become forgiven, because many of us, believe it or not, you may be thinking, if I was to ask you, those of you, alhamdulillah, no, don't be angry, but those of you, if I say to you, what are the conditions of tawbah? And you say, I don't know. You need to know. If you're turning towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to know that how is it can my tawbah be accepted? What are the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do, so that then when we say, Ya Allah, forgive me, have mercy upon me, pardon me from the hellfire. Okay, how is it that He can forgive us? What is it that He's looking for? That is why Ustaz Majid's session is very important, is that this is the first step. This is the first stage. First of all, tawbah is to turn. Tawbah is to do a U-turn. You're going, for example, here we're supposed to go towards from Manchester all the way to London. It's one road. What is tawbah? Tawbah is saying, okay, listen, you're supposed to go towards London, but unfortunately you go towards Scotland. I know the people love Iron Brew here, but I'm telling you, we don't want to be going for Iron Brew. This year's theme, our drink in Itikaf, this year is just Iron Brew, because it's all brewed in Scotland. That's what they say, isn't it? Yeah, it's brewed in Scotland. We don't want to go to Scotland. We want to go to London. So what we're saying is that you stop. Tawbah literally means to do a U-turn. So you're supposed to be going towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unfortunately, going towards hellfire and the devil, following his footsteps and going that way. So tawbah means to stop and U-turning. That's the first process, that's the first step. And that is what we need to know, how to do that U-turn, how to make that turn, how to reconnect back from our previous ways. And that's what Ustad Majid is. It's an important set, all of them important, but each one is actually a machination which is connecting one to the other. So if you miss one, it's like you missed a jigsaw. You need to make sure it fits together. So Ustad Majid's element is going to be talking about tawbah and the condition of tawbah. Next, we've got Ustad Harun Dabbagh. What they will be discussing is, okay, you know about tawbah, okay, then there are things where, for example, we need to also, if we want forgiveness, if Allah is not supposed to forgive us, we need to learn how to forgive others as well. Because if we forgive others, Allah will automatically forgive us. How do you do that then? What's the way in which, what's the methodology in which we can learn how to forgive others? Because sometimes what's happening is that maybe somebody's doing wrong. You know, we're talking about hell on earth. There are people, what we're doing is that there are people who've wronged us. There are people who've actually done harm to us. There are people who actually hurt us. And what's happening is that we've not learned to forgive. So it's making our life miserable, because every time we see them, another tag. It's like the wound never goes away. We're hitting ourselves. Every time I see that person, I remind myself of that injury, if that sin that person did, so I'm stabbing myself again. It's like a wound that doesn't heal. You know how, for example, if you just cut yourself and the wound is trying to heal, and then I open the wound again. It doesn't heal, it hurts again, it hurts again. And that is what we're doing. And so that what that forgiveness does, learning to how to forgive others, and the methodology to do that, is it's helping to heal. So that the effects, so that your life will be a more blissful life in this world, because you learn to heal and not being affected by others. And that is a great technique, because then at least you can sit next to somebody. You can look at that person. You can converse with that person. You are not affected by people anymore. You are affected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are not the servants of the opinions of people. You are the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do not get actually hurt and wounded again and again and again. So it's giving you power and giving you independence. So how to do that, that is what Ustad Harun is going to be doing. He's teaching us how we can actually learn to forgive. And then one of the things that we need to, because these are the days of Najat in which people will be sent for hellfire, we will be then discussing about the qualities. What are those qualities that we can do to cultivate so that we can become the people of Najat, the people of salvation? What are those qualities? What is that way? What does Allah say about it? What does Rasulullah say about those qualities? And that's what we're going to discuss in session 6. Session 7 will be going about what is the, okay, we talked about these qualities and those people and the attributes that they need to have, but what is that path that leads towards Najat? We're going on the wrong path, we're talking about hellfire, we're going through the wrong way, but what is that right way? What is that path that leads towards Najat? And that is what Ustaz Shah Alam is going to be discussing inshallah in session 7. And session 8, so now we just discuss hellfire, the inhabitants of hellfire, the punishments, the nature of hellfire. We discuss how we're making hell on earth. Then we discuss about how to actually start the process of actually turning towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing tawbah, then how we can forgive others. Then we talked about what are the qualities of the people of Najat, and then the path that leads towards it. If we learn about that, then how, we talked about hell on earth, how do we then have peace on earth? Because we still have to live. We've not died yet. We still have to live. How can we establish peace on earth whilst I'm living on the face of earth? So that ultimately that leads to peace forever and ever in Akhirah. And that is what Ustaz Abdul Rahim will be mentioning, inshallah, in these last segments. And that is how we've actually put all the theory behind it. Now, what do we do is that's just theory. Practical theory. But then how can we immerse ourselves even further? Your mind is being entertained. At daytime, we also, at nighttime, what we're doing with our tongues, we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The mind is thinking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, akhirah, hellfire, paradise. Your tongue, you're seeing these images, you're seeing these graphic images, you're seeing the contents. The tongue is doing the dhikr of Allah, maraqabah and tilawat of the Quran, etc. So you're doing this. Then we engage in the spirit and mind and other aspects. What it is that we're going to learn through the spiritual meditation, the ascensions, is what? How to now learn the technique in which we can take this theory into practice and take this methodology enables you, for example, that our honorable teacher Shaykh Ahmad Dabagh was mentioning earlier before, is that the technique of actually learning how to learn to traverse into this spiritual dimension, spiritual world, how to allow our spirit to traverse, that is what we can teach you, inshallah Aziz, so that then in salah, in dhikr, in a given gathering, you can learn how to actually now bring your level of yaqeen to a higher level of yaqeen. You can learn how to actually have, with the thing about hellfire, we're talking about it, okay, how can I get that such a firm conviction that, yes, now that I've heard about it, now that I've read about it, now that I've seen it, I'm also experiencing it, i.e. spiritually seeing, experiencing, and feeling those torments. That is then yaqeen develops even more so. And that is what this spiritual muraqabah ascension is all about, is how we're going to teach you how to do that, so that we immerse you both theory, practically, also spiritually into the theme, and hopefully then you go away living a life as though you can be in the state in which you're living and safeguarding yourself from the hellfire, try to attain paradise, i.e. try to actually save yourself from the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and achieve the qurba nearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what we're doing. The purpose is to strengthen your yaqeen, to reduce the effect of dunya and create a pull towards akhirah. At the moment what's happening is that the dunya is pulling us. We need to now actually learn how to actually create a pull towards the akhirah and bring balance into our life. And that is what we hear, that is what the essential will do. So that is fundamentally what we hear, and I hope that you all actively participate with enthusiasm and want and this eagerness to learn, to also advance yourself, better yourself. That is what we want from you, from your side. Now what I'd like to do is call upon all the teachers that can actually, if they're here, if I can ask them all to actually be present and come at the front. If all those staffs can come. Or if they're downstairs in the basement, if they come, please come and show yourself. So this is Ustaz Tahir you've met with yesterday, inshallah. This is Ustaz Shabir and he'll be delivering his next segment of speech. If the other stars can actually come from wherever, if you're upstairs or downstairs, they can come down. This is our wonderful Ustaz Majid. He's a very apologetic, that's why he's doing Tawbah, by the way. Because he's from Surrey. See, it always works. Always works, honestly. It's from Surrey. Okay, so there we go. Obviously, Danish people, I can't make you guys understand, obviously, but it's an English joke, by the way. We'll make you understand maybe at iftar time. We'll make you understand. So we've got Ustaz Abdul Rahim here, mashallah. He's also from London down south. Ustaz Sajid, the evergreen Ustaz Sajid over there. We've got them. Where's Dr. Shalom? Is he here?
He was here.
So can Dr. Shalom be present here? Is he here? Mrs. Majid? Okay. Okay, so Dr. Shalom, you all know Dr. Shalom. Dr. Shalom, inshallah, we'll make sure he sits here alone next time. He spoke, inshallah, he was there doing the Q&A yesterday as well. That was Dr. Shalom. These are our core teachers. We've also got our trainers as well, assistants as well, who do your halakha as well. They're there. Some of them are here, some of them are sat at the back. And then we've also got Ustaz Majid, is our stage secretary and also announcer. And we've got Ustaz Brother Majid Iqbal, if you can come here. This is the events manager, so any issues, admin related, if you just come here. This is the person, wonderful. I know, they all look very similar, don't they? By the way, Dr. Shalom, actually, Mr. Majid, you should be there, but Chala, we're going to keep you on this side. Okay, Dr. Shalom, you can stay on this side. There you go. This is Dr. Shalom here. As you can see, you have Evergreen and you have our elders on the right and our youngsters on the left. So that's the youngsters on the left and the elders on the right. That's what we have. This is our team. Then there are also, but the Umar is not here, unfortunately. If he's not here, any issues, any problems you had regarding any administrative things, anything, sleeping arrangements, food, blah, blah, etc., etc. Brother Majid. Can you put your hand up, Brother Majid? Yeah? Yeah, that's Brother Majid. Yeah, okay, that's him. He had to think about it because he's from Nelson, you see. It's a difficult thing. You have to be careful whether should I answer this if anybody's listening to me or not, should I answer it, but you had to be careful there. Yeah, that's what's that. But Brother Majid, that's any admin related stuff, you speak to him, you tell him, you put your problem. You can also go to Brother Zafar as well. There's Brother Zafar from Birmingham, so you can actually ask him for anything as well. He's there as well. And us teachers here, is that what we're here for is that now, obviously we're delivering segments and sessions, but if there's any issues that you have, if there's any problem that you have, if there's anything that you're struggling with, that you need to do a one-to-one, I need to get some advice, that is what we're here for. Is that you come here, you speak to us, you can have a one-to-one in privacy, nobody needs to know. If you need to find a solution to a problem you're going through, if you're actually struggling with anything, even the sessions that we've done you're not understanding, or you're struggling with your journey, your spiritual journey, or you want to start the journey, or you're finding it difficult, whatever it is that you need to actually speak to somebody, we're here for you. You can see us, come to us anytime, we make a session and you can actually speak to one of us with confidentiality, no problem, nobody's going to know about it. That's between ourselves and yourself, that's amana between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, that is what we're here for. So if you want to see us, if there's issues, you want to also be the people of Najat, you want to also be the person to actually safeguard your hellfire, come and see us. We can tell you in detail how you can do that, inshallah. So that's what we're here for. That is what, if you've got any queries, come and see us, speak to us, inshallah. Don't be shy, don't be thinking that, oh, no. Listen, we are brothers. We're your brothers. You're our brothers. So if you have any issues, I know we don't like to put the tag of teachers, but unfortunately this is what it is. But effectively, we're your brothers. You're my brother, I'm your brother. And you should come to me, you should be able to come to me and say, brother, I got an assistant. Can you help me with this? I need an issue. Do that. We'll help you, inshallah, to the best of our ability. And then obviously, ultimately, we've also got our beloved teachers there, who you can always see them as well if you want to see them as well in one-to-one. If you wish to, as well, for barakah and blessing, you can see them as well. They're here to serve us, and you got the opportunity every day. So another thing I will say is that if there's a Q&A, don't be shy to ask. This is, our beloved teacher. One thing I will tell you is that I don't really say this much or whatever, is that they are, one of the qualities you'll see will mention about the people of who are serving, but they are the most approachable, accessible person you can ever find on the face of the earth. This is one thing which is unique you'll find about them, is that they're the most approachable, accessible person. Whichever way you want, they'll be there if you need them. In terms of that, obviously, we're thinking, but they're not like one of those people, I'm a sheikh, I'm a thingy, I can't see these lowly people. It's a na'uz no. That's one thing which we even find is so fathom so much, is that we're saying we're heran of that. Even if a layman on the street comes and asks, they'll be there. They'll say, labbaik, what is it? That is the one beautiful thing. There are many other things. Unfortunately, my tongue can't actually do justice to even say anything about our wonderful teacher, but it doesn't even befit me to even say. But unfortunately, I can't even say it properly. But I'm saying that one of the qualities that I have is that you should not feel shy You shouldn't feel as if, oh, I can't say anything or what they're going to think of me. No, you'll never feel that from them. Always you'll be able to ask, and you should be able to find that comfort and ease that they will actually help and support you, inshallah. So that's our team. We'll endeavor also online as well. If you have any questions, any queries that you have, do use the chat facility on YouTube or on Facebook. Put your queries there, and inshallah we'll endeavor to actually get to you and answer those questions and queries to the best of our abilities as well. So this is our team. I've taken a bit of time, more time than necessary. So inshallah what we'll do is that we'll take a break. Or you want to just...
We're going to go straight into the next session, inshallah.
Zafar, one thing is it's not just been done if you introduce the main speaker here. So mention who's the speaker, he left himself out.
No, I have mentioned myself. It's all right. So anyway, we're going to go to the next session, inshallah. Ustaz Shibir Hassan, he'll be starting the next session. And hopefully he can quickly go through that session because he has to go to work as well. So we can get to that, inshallah. Take inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Jazak.
Imam Qays will do a special introduction for a session. Sorry, there's a car blocking the car park. It's a red BMW VT19RFK. So if that's your vehicle, please attend to it now. It's causing an obstruction. People need to leave. So VT19RFK.
اس کی خطاؤں کو تو اس کی خطاؤں کو عطاؤں میں بدل دے جو مولا 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 یہ دل تیری رحمت کا طلبگار ہو مولا، یہ دل تیری رحمت کا طلبگار ہو مولا، تیرے ہی خیالوں میں گرفتار ہو مولا، یہ دل تیری رحمت کا، تو اس کی خطاؤں کو عطاؤں میں بدل دے، تو اس کی خطاؤں کو عطاؤں میں بدل دے جو اب مولا 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 مولا، یہ دل تیری رحمت کا طلبگار ہو مولا، یہ دل تیری رحمت کا طلبگار ہو مولا، تیرے ہی
والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون، اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has granted us this month of Ramadan and this Itikaf, spending time in the best place on earth, which is the masajids of the dunya. Peace and salutations upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon the awliyas and upon the whole ummah. So we have heard Ustad Tahir's horrific description of the hellfire. So who remembers these horrific descriptions that they mentioned? Because I heard my son was saying that people don't even remember what they eat yesterday, never mind remembering a talk that has happened the day before. So I'm just wondering, is everybody aware of what they listened to or what they saw yesterday on the pictures? How the pictures are more horrific in nature than actually the person speaking as well. When you look at the picture, the image sticks to your mind. So is there any particular images that have stuck in your mind from yesterday's talk? Just raise your, I'm not asking individual person, I'm just saying that if you have or if you haven't. If you have, then put your hand up. Okay. So I've got the first, that was a trick question. Now I'm going to ask you what image stuck into your mind? What particular image out of that presentation yesterday stuck into your mind? Yes?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I think when we was told that in hellfire the skins of people will be burning, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them their skin back so they may feel it again. I might be quoting it wrong, but
yeah, no, it's fine. I'm talking about the image. Did you see that image?
And then the image was like some people burning, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like a horror movie, isn't it? You know, when you watch a horror movie, especially late at night, and you go to sleep, then you see this images, the movie playing in your mind continuously. So the important thing is to keep the images there. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll be doing like a muraqabah session. I want these images there so you can focus on this as well. You know, when you see these images, and then you might be doing a muraqabah about the hellfire and so forth. So these images are very important for you to, you know, embed in your mind. Now, most people, when you talk about the hellfire, you always think, no, it's not me, it's not going to happen to me. Or I'm practicing, I'm praying my salah, I'm doing my dhikr, I'm doing everything. So the person in his mind is thinking that is